Hi, students, and welcome back to the class. We are doing the chapter light, reflection, and refraction. In the previous class, we understood the bending of light. That is, if the light is traveling from one to other medium, then in which direction the bending of light will take place, depending upon whether it is moving from high to low optical density or low to high optical density. And since now we have understood the meaning of refraction, refractive index, and the bending of light when it is moving from one to other medium. Now we are going to apply those concepts in the next topic we have, that is the optical device based on the refraction of light. Like after reflection concept, we understood the concept of mirror, plane mirror, spherical mirror and all. And now after the concept of refraction, we are going to the next optical device we have, that is called lens. So that is the topic we have today, that is lens. We'll understand the meaning and the related terms, that is with the lens, whatever terms we have, that is what we are going to learn today, so that in the next class we can understand that is how the lens can also be used to form the image of different types, different nature, behavior and all we'll see in the coming class. So in general we know if we talk about the lens, it is nothing but a transparent medium. So if we talk about the mirror, so mirror is based on the reflection of light. So we know if a plain glass is painted from one side, it can reflect the light, and based on the reflection it can form the image. And when we talk about the lens, this is an optical device through which the light can pass actually. So the basic difference we have is mirror is an opaque object, that is the light will not pass through it, it will reflect the maximum light, and because of that it will form the image. That image can be real, virtual and all that we understood in the concept of mirror only. And lens is a transparent medium through which the ray of light will actually pass, but when the light will pass, it will not pass straight away. The bending of light will take place because overall glass will be having different optical density as compared to the first medium. So overall, based on the refraction done by the lens, we can also get image of different nature, and that is what we are going to learn now. So the basic difference you find, this is opaque and this is transparent. Okay, so that is the very first difference we have between the mirror and the lens. And since in class 7th we have understood the different types of the lens, we are going to start with that only. So very first we need to define what is lens. So in general, if we talk about the different types of the lenses we have, then we'll come to the definition. We have the convex lens. Okay, just take the very first example we have, which is somehow thick at the center and thin at the edges. That is how the convex lens look like. And once the light will pass through it, it will not pass straight away, it will bend the ray of light. So overall, with the help of the convex lens, we can bend the light, and in general the lens can either converge the ray of light or it can diverge the ray of light. So we can say optical device that we have, that is the lens, is a transparent medium which basically converges or diverges the ray of light passing through it. That is the simple meaning of lens we have, that is it is just a transparent medium which can bend the ray of light, that is it can either converge or diverge the rays of light passing through the medium, that is the lens. So if I say this is different parallel rays of light coming towards the lens, then after passing this lens the rays may converge somewhere, it is possible. So overall, with the help of this lens, the rays of light may converge. So we can say this is the property of the lens only, that is it can converge the ray of light. If we talk about the another lens we have, concave, that we are going to discuss, the rays of light after passing through it can diverge also. So whether we talk about converging or whether we talk about diverging property, it is nothing but the lens which is changing the direction of ray of light, and that is just based on the refraction concept. So based on this overall understanding, we are able to define the lens. Very first, it is optical device because it is based on the light only. That is why we are talking about optical, coming from optics. And second thing is a transparent medium, means the light will actually pass through it. And third, once the light will pass, refraction will take place, and because of refraction the lens will either converge or diverge the ray of light after passing through the lens. So based on this we are defining the lens, that is an optical device okay. In bracket we can write down somehow transparent, and this transparency can also vary. It cannot be 100% transparent, it can be translucent also, but the ray of light should pass through the device which converges or diverges the ray of light passing through it. So rays of light passing through it. So that is how we can define the lens. So very first it is optical device, second it is transparent medium, second it can converge or diverge the ray of light passing through it. So that is how we can define in our own language. And now since we have understood the meaning, means how to define the lens, let's talk about the types of the lenses we have. So types of lens, in general we have, very first we have a convex lens, which is something like this. So briefly understand that is how the convex lens can be formed. So if we talk about, we have a solid glass sphere. So solid glass sphere, so that is transparent. Okay, so this is transparent glass which is solid. In the case of mirror we took the hollow sphere, now we are taking solid sphere, that is solid glass sphere. And from this we are going to take out two different parts of same length. Okay, so for example this is x2y and this is also x2y, that is they are same length, so we cut this portion and this portion from the same glass. So after cutting this portion, what will get? This part, and after cutting this we'll get another part, and if I join it together, for example we are getting half of part, one side. Now if I join it together without any gap, it will form the convex lens. So even the lens we are going to talk about is basically a part of the sphere, and how we cut the sphere to make the lens, that will decide the type of the lens we have. Okay, so that is one thing you have to remember. So even this lens is coming from the sphere, so even this sphere will have a center, even this sphere will have the radius. That is all we are going to talk about in coming topic only. So today only we are going to discuss. So convex lens is something which is thick at the edge, center, and at the edge it is quite thin. Okay, so convex lens, or it is also called biconvex. So they are same thing. So we can say convex lens or biconvex lens. Bi means it has two, and convex we have two convex surface. So biconvex lens. Okay, same like we have biconcave lens or simply concave lens. So it will be just opposite. If you remember class 7 also, so concave lens will be thin at the center and it will be thick at the edges. So even if you divide this into two equal parts, so you can say this part is somewhere, it is a part of one sphere, and this is another part which is a part of the another sphere. So even here you can find out that even this lens is basically is a part of two different sphere. So even this lens will have some center, it will have some center of curvature, radius of curvature we are going to talk about. So just remember, even the concave lens is basically a part of two sphere, one sphere this side, one sphere this side. Same thing is here also, half a part we have for the convex lens. So these are the two different lenses we have, main lens that we are going to discuss in this class 10. But other than this, one more type is possible. For example, this is one side is flat, one side we have convex. So we can say plano convex lens. So this is another lens. Even this will converge or diverge the ray of light. So it is also a lens. But plano means one side we have plane surface. So plano, convex, one side we have convex. So plano convex lens. Same like we can have this one. So one side we have plane, another side we have concave. So we can call it plano concave lens. So don't just think like we have only two different types of the lens. Depending upon the shape of the lens, we can give different name. But all these lenses will do one thing, that is they will change the direction of light and they can converge or diverge. So we can say any optical device which can converge or diverge the ray of light, they are basically lens. Okay. But for our purpose, for our different uses, we have made special shapes of the lens so that we can use it properly. Okay. So if you have understood this, then let's go for the terms related to lens. So overall we talk about convex and concave now. Plano convex and plano concave we are not going to discuss in class 10. And very first that we have is called center of curvature. So now since we have done this terms in mirror also, so I will not take much time. The only thing we need to understand the difference. So if I talk about a convex lens, so if I divide this into two equal parts, so we can say this part is a part of a sphere this side. So you can see, so if I talk about this shaded portion, this part of the lens can be considered as a part of one sphere this side. So it will have a center of curvature C. So C nothing but the center of the sphere of which the lens is the part. But here we will not just have one sphere that we had in the case of spherical mirror. We will have two different lenses. So two different sphere. Now the portion of the lens which is not shaded is having curvature facing this side. So we can say this is the part of the another sphere other side. So this lens is basically is a part of two different sphere we can say, and so it will have two different center of curvature, one center of this sphere, one center of this sphere. We can give the name also C1, C2. So naming will be done later on. So very first this is to be understood. Any lens will have two different center, that is C1 and C2, and that nothing is called center of curvature. So this is for convex lens. For the concave lens also we can draw the same diagram. So we can say this is a part of a sphere having center this side. This is a part of another sphere having the center this side. So again C1 and C2. So in general any lens is a part of two different sphere. So it will have two different center of curvature. So we can say center of curvature is nothing but the center of the spheres of which the lens is the part. So I am not going to define, I hope you understood. The center of the spheres of which the lens is the part is called center of curvature. So here C1, C2, C2 are basically center of curvature. Okay, so I hope you understood center. Next term we have radius of curvature. So always remember center of curvature we have two. Now let's see radius of curvature. So again this lens is a part of two sphere and both the sphere will have the radius. So this is radius R1 and this is radius R2. Okay, so again this lens is part of two different spheres and both sphere will have the radius, and that radius is called radius of curvature. So here R1, R2, basically they are equal. So when the lens is formed, it is given a shape such that both the side the sphere are basically having the same radius. So that is we have to remember. So radius R1, R2 will be taken as R. So always remember the lens will have two different radius of curvature also, but these two radius will be equal. So that will take common R. Same thing for this also. This one and this one we can say R1, R2, but though both are taken equal to R. So we can say radius of curvature R is nothing but the radius of the spheres of which the length is the part. So I hope you understood radius of curvature also. I'm not writing the statement, but I hope you understood. Then go for the next term, that is called optical center. So now if we see the lens, so this part of the lens is basically the center of the lens. So here the dot I have made, which it is the basically center part of the lens. Same thing we can see here also, somewhere this one. So the lens will have the center part which is at the center of the lens, okay, and that center is basically called optical center. So if I write down O is the optical center, which is nothing but the center of the lens. So I'm not writing, again remember, center of lens, which is marked as O here and here also, center of the lens. Third term we have, okay. Now number 4 we have principal axis, the way we had in the mirror also. So principal axis is nothing but, now we understood this is C and this is O, say optical center. So any line that is connecting these 2 points, the line connecting the center of curvature and optical center is basically principal axis. So same here, if I draw the line passing through O and C, C1 or C2, it will be just one single line. So C1, C2, O, all 3 points will lie on the same line only. Same here also, and that line is called principal axis. So same way we can say that is a line joining center of curvatures and optical center of the lens is called principal axis, that you can see here. X2, Y is the principal axis, X2, Y is the principal axis. So again this is a line, so it will not have any end points, it is just a line we have to imagine. Okay, now this thing we understood. Now let's go for the next term we have. For that we need the help of proper diagram and explanation also. So number I think 5. So before we go for the next, just understand the another one, that is aperture. So aperture we can understand this way. If this is the lens and this is the lens, concave and convex. So from the center, if you draw the line here and here also, okay, so the line which is at the center of the lens, so let this center line is called XY. So this XY is the overall length of the lens, and this length is basically called aperture. So here we can say XY is your aperture, which can be written as A also. So we can say this is the overall length of the lens through which the light will pass. So more is the aperture, more will be the space given to the light to fall on the lens, we can say. So if I talk about a small lens, it will have less aperture, so less light will pass through it. If we have quite high length of the lens, it will have more aperture, so more light will pass. So even that will decide the quality of the image. So if the aperture is high, more light can pass through it, so more will be the brightness of the image formed by a lens of this type. It will also form the image, but since very less light will pass through this, because the surface area we can say has reduced now. So less is the light passing through it, less will be the brightness of the image. That is how the aperture plays the role in the image formation. Okay, now let's go for the number 6 term. For this we need a understanding of proper refraction and bending of light. Okay, so that is called focus. So focus or principal focus. So very first I talk about focus of convex lens. So this will be written as capital F. like we did in the mirror. To understand this, I am making a diagram showing you a big picture of the lens, so that you can see the ray of light bending and passing through the lens, and you can find out the understand the meaning of focus. So I am showing you a bigger diagram so that things can be clear to you. Okay, so this is the optical center, somewhere at the center. So from the center now we can join a line. So I am very far trying to make the principal axis. So you must practice diagram at home. This is very important part of the optics, that is light. Most of the things in optics we understand with the help of diagrams only, ray diagram. That is giving us most of the answers. So somewhere it will have the center here. Okay. So let this be O, optical center. And now I told you both the side radius will be same. So at equal distance we will have C1 and C2. So let me give equal distance somewhere. Okay. So I am giving distance of somewhere 6 this side and 6 this side also. Okay. So this is somewhere C and C. Let it be C1 and C2. And even C1 and C2, why I am giving the name, I will make you understand. Okay. Now what is to be done? Let's take again a ray of light coming parallel to the principal axis, like we did in the mirror, to understand the concept of focus. So let a ray of light is coming parallel to the principal axis. Now what will happen to this ray? Okay, so we know this ray cannot pass straight away, cannot reflect also, it is a lens, it has to pass. So the light is traveling from air to glass. So I am writing here, this is your glass, and again this is air. So it is understood the ray of light will pass from air to glass and then glass to air. So it will have refraction at this face, second refraction at the other face. Okay. Now again one more thing is, again we have to find out the angle of incidence and angle of refraction, and the concept will remain same. This is a part of the sphere. So for this curve part it will have the normal, and how to find the normal we know, that is a line passing through center will be the normal. So for this part, this curvature, the center will be this way. So since this part is curved facing this side, so for this particular face, center of curvature will be this side. So from this particular center, the line that we draw, okay, so it's very difficult to handle on the board, but still I am trying my best. Okay, so this is your normal. Okay, so normal. So why we understood that in the case of a sphere or a curved surface, the normally is nothing but the line passing through center. For this surface, center is this side because this is facing this side. So we have drawn the normal. So this is normal 1. Let it be normal 1. So this is angle of incidence. Okay, so let me write N1 here. And this is understood, this is air. So this is normal 1, and this angle you are able to see the angle of incidence. Now if the ray of light will not be obstructed by the lens, it will pass straight away. So this dotted line is showing you that is the initial path of the ray of light. But now we have placed the lens in between, so it cannot pass straight away. It will have to change the direction because of change in density, because light is traveling from air to glass. Now we understood in the previous class, if the light is traveling from air to glass, it is basically traveling from rarer to denser medium. Rarer to denser, air to glass. And if the light is traveling from rarer to denser, it bends where? Towards normal. So that we understood in the previous class. I am not going to waste time now. So we understood in this particular case, at this particular point, the ray of light will change the direction, but it will move towards the normal. So normal is which one? This one. So it must bend. So we understood this is the initial part. In this case, if you remember, R will be less than I. Right? Light traveling from rarer to denser will have less angle of refraction, and it is only possible if the ray of light will come down. so it will come below this dotted line, so that it can bend towards this normal N1. So here we can see the ray of light will bend somewhere down. So that is how the diagram has to be understood properly. So this is ray of light bending down. Now again it cannot pass straight away. Here again the medium will change from glass to air. It will change the direction again. But for this surface again we have to find the normal. But this surface is facing this side, so normal will be from C2. So here we can draw the normal again. This one is the normal. Okay. So this is normal N2. So I am repeating again, N1 is this one. Okay, this is the normal through C1 and this is the normal through C2. Now this particular point, the ray will move from where? Glass to air, that is denser to rare medium now. Glass is denser than air, so the light will bend away from normal. And away we know R will be greater than I. We understood in the previous class, so I am not going to talk much about this, okay. So, you understood? This is the normal now, so light should move away from the normal. So it is only possible if it will come downward. I hope you are able to see. This is the normal. Here R should be greater than I. So it is understood. It must go away from the normal. So this is normal 2 and the light must go away. So it will come down finally. So this is the place or the point where the light will fall finally after passing through the lens, and this point is nothing but focus F1. So what you see in this diagram, you are able to see very clearly. We just applied the concept of bending of light. That's why I discussed this topic in the previous class. Light is traveling from air to glass, glass to air. But because of the shape given to this lens, finally what we see, the ray of light which is coming parallel will converge at a point on principal axis. And this point where the parallel ray will converge after passing through the lens is called its focus. So this is the real focus also, because the ray of light will actually pass through this. But we know if the light will come from this side, it will converge this side. So with this side it will have the focus, and let this be as F2. So I hope you understood. First, the light is traveling from air to glass. It will bend towards the normal, and normal we found from the C1. So here it is bending towards the normal. At this particular point, the ray will bend away from the normal because the light will travel from glass to air. So this is the normal. So away means it must come down. If it will come this side, it will bend towards, but we want away. Away means it will come finally downward. So the ray will basically converge on the principal axis. So all the rays that will come parallel to the principal axis will start converging on the same point F1, and this F1 is given the name principal focus or focus. Am I clear? So always remember, the convex lens will have two different focus, F1, F2, but for our sign convention and all, we always think like the light is coming from this direction. So whenever we place the lens, if the light is coming from this direction, it will converge at this point. So this focus is taken as main focus. So F1, that's why I've given the name F1, that is main focus. F2 is the second focus. Okay. So I hope you understood. That is, the diagram looks complicated, but if you draw it yourself, it will be more clear. So we can say the ray of light. So in simple diagram, we can show this way. That is, ray of light coming parallel to the principal axis will converge at the same point, and this point is called focus. So this is the brief diagram, but actually within the lens also 2 times refraction will take place. So we can see ray of light parallel to principal axis after passing through after passing through it, that is I am talking about convex lens, converge at fixed point on other side, and this fixed point is called focus or principal focus of the convex lens. So I am not writing this much, so you have to understood. I think you have understood the meaning, what I mean exactly. Okay, so since the ray will actually pass through the focus, and if the ray can actually pass, then that point will be a real point, so we can say the focus is real in this case. So that is one thing we have to remember, that is the focus is real. Clear? And we understood that finally the ray of light that will come parallel, what will happen to these rays? They will all converge somewhere. So that is the property of the convex lens, that is most of the time it will converge the ray of light passing through it, and that's why it is also called converging lens, other name of the convex. So I have shown you the ray of light passing through the lens, it is basically converging, just applying the concept of rare to denser and denser to rare. Okay, so if you make this both the surface flat, then the ray will pass straight away also, that is also a possibility, but since we have given special shape to the lens, because of that it is able to converge finally. So I hope you understood real focus, and it is also called converging lens because it converges the ray of light. Next term we have focus of concave lens. So this is, now since you understood the convex lens focus, you can understand this also. So again this is F, but remember focus will be 2 in this case also. So again for this clarity I am making a clear diagram so that you can understand what is happening here. Okay, so that's why I am showing you a bigger picture, so that actually you see how the ray of light bends when it is passing through the lens, convex lens and concave lens. So for this I am making a very first diagram. Okay, and I cannot be perfect that much on the board, it's difficult to handle the scale because that is very slippery also. Okay, so from the center somewhere, this point, you can measure same distance both the side. So let it be 6 here and 6 here also. So I'm taking rough one. Okay, so again it will have center of curvature C1, C2 both the side, C1, C2, and again just take example, that is the ray of light is coming parallel to the principal axis. So let me draw this side here. So ray will come parallel. Again the light is traveling from air to glass and then air. So glass is the lens, air is first medium, air is third medium, and glass is the second medium. Okay. Now again it will have the change in direction here on this surface, and now what is to be done? Very first we need to find the normal. Without normal we cannot find out in which direction the ray of light will bend. So again we can see here in this case, this part is facing this side. So for this phase the normal will be from C1. So this surface is facing this side, so normal must be this side. That is how we have to think. Okay, so this ray, sorry, this imaginary line is just passing through C1, which is nothing but normal N1. Okay, now if the lens will not be placed here, what will happen? If the lens will not be placed, it will pass straight away, dotted line, but it will not happen because the lens will change the direction. Now the light is traveling from air to glass, that is it will bend towards the normal, What does it mean? R will be less than I. So this is your angle of incidence. R must be less, and R can be less only if it will bend upward. If it will go downward, then with this R will become more, because the ray has to move towards the normal. Now normal is facing upward, so ray must go upward. So we can say ray of light will go somewhere here. So you can see ray of light bending towards the normal, but it is going upward because of the shape we have given. Now at this surface again the refraction will take place at this particular point, and for this surface we have to find the normal, and that will be done from C2 because this is facing this side. Okay, so this is my second normal, N2 passing through C2. Now the light is traveling from glass to air away from the normal, glass to air away from normal, that is R should be greater than I. So you understood, if this will not change the direction, it will go straight away, but here the angle has to be more, and for that it is must move away from the normal. So this ray of light, this is the normal now, so just concentrate, this is the normal and this is the ray, and this ray must go away. So this cannot go down because the normal is this one, and the ray should go away from the normal because the light is traveling from glass to air. So this ray must go upward finally. So this ray of light will finally move up. Okay, and it seems that, just wait, difficult to handle the scale. So here what you see, the ray of light will finally parallel first, upward first, and then also it is going upward because of concept towards the normal and away from the normal. So in this case, at this surface, normal was here, so the ray has to move towards, so it is going towards normal, that is towards normal, this is the normal, and here in this case the ray of light has to go away from the normal, and normal is this. So away means this angle must be R, and that must be greater than I, so it has to go upward. So finally the ray of light is going upward. So what it seems, this ray of light is coming from somewhere, this particular point, and this point is called F1, which is focus of the concave lens. So I hope you understood, that is ray of light coming parallel to the principal axis seems to diverge. What you see, this ray is basically diverging somewhere, that is it is going away from the principal axis, it will diverge, it is not coming towards principal axis. But this seems that it is basically diverging from a particular fixed point from the focus, which is nothing but focus only, and that is the meaning of focus of a concave lens. So the ray actually is not passing through this focus or not converging at focus, it seems to diverge from this focus, and that's why this focus is virtual focus. So diagram looks complicated, but finally I have shown you that ray of light actually will diverge when it will pass through the concave lens, and why I have shown you the entire concept based on the refraction only. So I hope you understood. Now I am showing you a very simple diagram, that is, if a ray of light or different rays of light will come parallel to the principal axis. So I am showing you just 2 or 3 rays. If the rays will come, parallel to the principal axis, so these rays, all these rays will basically diverge such that it will diverge from the same point behind the lens. Okay, this ray will also diverge, this ray will also diverge, but all these rays seem to diverge from the same point, that is called focus, and since the rays seem to diverge from point this side, that's why this is taken as the main focus, not the other side. So we can say this is F1, other side will have F2, that is, if the ray of light will come from this side, it will diverge from F2. If the ray is coming from this side, it will diverge from F1. But according to our sign convention, rays are coming from left all the time, so main focus will be taken this one, and this is our second focus. So I hope you understood, that is rays parallel to principal axis, that is in the diagram, seem to diverge from a fixed point on principal axis. The ray parallel to principal axis seem to diverge from a fixed point on principal axis when it passes through the concave lens, and this fixed point is called principal focus of concave lens. So I hope you can complete the definition, but meaning is understood. So since the rays actually cannot converge or cannot diverge, it is just seem to diverge, so that's why the focus is taken virtual. And I hope you understood. In the case of concave lens, we are taking this as f1 and this as f2. In the case of convex lens, this we are taking f1 and this we are taking f2. I am again differentiating why. Here the rays seem to diverge from this side, that's why main focus is this side. Here the rays basically converge on the other side, that's why the main focus is taken f1 this side. So this has the property to diverge the ray of light. Okay, that's why this lens is also called diverging lens. So concave lens is also called diverging lens. So how we understood? The ray again passing through the concave lens will diverge from each other, and convex lens, the rays will basically converge. That is the basic difference we have. Based on this difference, the name also given differently. Okay, so I hope you understood the meaning of focus of concave and convex lens. And last I am going to discuss, that is focal length. I think this is number 8 or 7, I don't remember previous number. So that is focal length. So focal length we understood, that is nothing but, if you talk about the convex lens, from optical center, this is f2 and f1. So this distance, or this distance, we can say this is your f1 or f2. This is our focal length, which will be equal. So f1 is equal to f2 is equal to f. That is our focal length of the convex lens. And for concave lens, this is optical center, this is f2 and this is f1 main, this side. So we can say this one is f1 and this one is f2, and f1 will be equal to f2, that will be f. So just you should know how to differentiate. Okay, so we can say the distance, or the distance between the optical center and focus of the given lens is called focal length. So whether I talk about the concave or convex, both the side the focal length will be same. So for a particular convex lens we will have one particular focal length. For concave lens also, for a particular focal length, for particular concave lens we will have particular focal length. But from one to other lens the focal length can vary. Okay. So these are the main terms we have today. And you must practice the diagram that I have shown you today. This may not come in the paper, that is not a part of the syllabus, but I have done just to make you understand how the rays basically converge or diverge when they will pass through the convex and concave lens, and why, based on the same concept, we are giving the name to the lens, that is converging and diverging lens. So to understand the concept of focus also, we need to understand the real diagram, that is how the ray of light is actually behaving or bending when it is passing through the concave and convex lens. So that is all we have today. In the next class we are going to talk about how these lenses can also form the image, and that image can be real, virtual, upright, inverted, magnified, smaller, all we are going to discuss in the coming class only. So for today is done. Just take care, be at home. Thank you and Hari Om.